what does it say about Mookie, not just as a player, but as a person, now that he's now a Roberto Clemente Award winner?
This is a huge honor. I think every athlete will say they're, people first, and playing baseball is what he does for a living. But, a humanitarian award like this, and to be recognized, to get this Roberto Clemente Award is quite the achievement. I give Mookie, I give Bree, his wife, a lot of credit, their foundation, and to be able to balance and prioritize on the field performance with off the field impact is pretty amazing. And I think he's the fourth Dodger to ever receive this award. So just tip of the cap to Mookie.
We'll stay over there, Doc.
Hi, Dave. You guys were able to beat Max in early August, but he did go almost 100 pitches, 6 innings. Are you comfortable with what you've done so far in this series in terms of your at-bats to maybe get to him a lot earlier than what you did in that particular game? It seems he's been the most acceptable to getting beat early in games.
That's sort of, what people say, I guess, is, Max has had some struggles early, but this guy's a great competitor. He's going to make pitches, and I think the key for all of us is there's just got to be relentless at-bats 1 through 9. And, he's going to look for spots to sort of catch his breath, manage his pitch count. But I do believe that if we can continue to stress him, keep having to make pitches, and he's going to, revert to the secondaries, the slider, the curveball when it gets hot. And we just got to be willing to kind of grind him. And if we can do that, I like our chances. But again, we got a tough task. He's a big game pitcher, and he knows our guys as well as we know him.
Second row, your left, Fabian.
Yeah, Dave. What ultimately led you to want to keep Paez in there in center, and what can he do better, especially against some of the fastballs he's been seeing?
I think that I actually think the last couple games he's taken better at bats. We all talk about the 3-2 chase, with the bases loaded in the first game, but I think in totality the bats have been better. I think for me, I just want to see him continue to fight and compete against Max. I want to keep betting on him. I'm not saying that it's in perpetuity, but tonight I'm going to bet on him, and until I don't. But I do think that the outfield defense matters, and I think he's playing good outfield defense in center field, and the work has been good. His head has been good, and I think the demeanor, the mindset is still consistent for me to bet on.
Stay over there with Jack.
Just to clarify the comment yesterday about
Jack. I shouldn't have said intent. I love Canada. I made the mistake of saying intent. It was a long day, a long trip. I'm very grateful to be in the World Series, and I shouldn't have said intent. It was my apologies, sincerely.
And then with Tyler, just how have you seen his confidence grow, especially after these first 2 starts he's had in the postseason? And is this as much of kind of, when you guys talk about wanting him to be in that kind of compete mode mindset, is this as much as you've seen him and your guys' time having him?
It is. I think that, in big games, some people are cerebral, mechanical. Some people are feel people. And I think that, with Tyler, I do think that he's playing his best baseball now. And I do believe because he is just focused on the compete, the here and now, making pitches. And that's what you need in the postseason. And to your question, I do feel like that's where he's at right now.
One row ahead, Mr. Hill.
Coach, Skipper Jim Hill, KKL 9 News. First of all, congratulations. How do you keep your club from just taking it one game, one pitch, one inning at a time when there is so much that's at stake?
I think that's sort of the secret sauce and how we've been able to sustain success is getting it to the micro. It just alleviates a lot of expectation, pressure, stress if you can just get to the pitch, to the play, and not get ahead of yourself. And so, honestly, I just think that's who we are. That's how we're wired, and appreciating that there's still noise and, outside, but we're pretty micro in how we go about a particular day.
We'll stay up front.
Hey, Dave. Defensively, you guys look really sharp. game 2. How do you continue to keep that momentum and keep that focus in that way today and throughout the rest of the series?
Well, I think, kind of dovetailing on Jim's question is just focus on today. Max is going to come after us. John's going to exhaust his bullpen. Those hitters are going to compete their tails off to beat us. And we've got to match that intensity today. And, and that's all we're in control of today. And that's how, we prepare.
Go to the third row on your right, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Dodger fans sure to loudly jeer George Springer tonight. You remember 2017. What message, if any, do you hope he hears tonight? That's
up to the fans. Heck of a player, having a great postseason. Dodger fans have a long memory, and that's what makes them great. So I'm just going to manage the game, and I'm not in the stand. So they can do whatever they feel is going to help the club win.
And we'll stay over there with Steve.
Yep. Dave, your relationship with Don Mattingly, he preceded you here, such a favorite of baseball people around the world. Are you guys friends? Have you known each other over the years? Tell us about your relationship. And, of course, you know the story. You have won World Series as a player, as manager, and for him it's the first time. I know you don't want him to win the World Series.
I don't.
Is there a part of you that's glad that he's finally made it?
We're friendly. We haven't spent a whole lot of time together. I've got the utmost respect for Don. You're not going to meet a better person, a higher integrity character person. He's been very additive to that staff, and I'm sure he's helped John in many ways. I marvel at his humility, his baseball knowledge, and certainly the track record on the field and as a coach. But have a lot of respect for him.
And also, just a quick follow-up. You've known people who have been great players. I mean, there are Hall of Famers who never make it into the World Series. Can you appreciate that drive, even though he's not going to be in as a player, that he's finally here?
Absolutely. And I would argue that, as a coach, can be more fulfilling. And I say that because you impact a lot more people in that role versus just yourself. So it's definitely different than playing, but I'm sure Don's impact on that clubhouse there's some correlations to their success for sure.
5 rows back on your left, Tyler.
Dave, in your 5 World Series now as manager here, you've had different sort of styles of teams. Early ones where you had to platoon a lot. Last year, a lot of bullpenning. This year, a lot of starting. Which has been the sort of biggest challenge for you as a manager to get through these games? Style.
You know what, Ty? I think that it's like all things. You sort of have to adjust. You have to grow, learn. And I think that the coaches, the front office have done a great job in sort of, in totality, trying to figure out how's the best way to win 11 games or this year 13 games in October. And, whether it's, starting pitching, it's bullpens, it's having platoon advantages. And so all that stuff, we've built a roster where we don't have as many platoon advantages. And, we won it last year with bullpenning because that's where we were at. But the starting pitching has certainly been paramount this postseason. I think we've grown together. I think that it's been fun for me. And I've certainly evolved. I have. And some of it is roster driven, but also a lot of it is experience and, some of the successes and the failures that I've had in the postseason.
2 rows behind Tyler on your left.
Hola, Dave.
Hola.
So we have Glasnow tonight, Ohtani tomorrow. What were the main factors to set up this order? And is there any chance we could see Ohtani in play for another start in this series, considering he's not going to be able to?
I think we just wanted to stay with the same pitching rotation as we did in the CS. And then, I don't see Shohei starting another game in this series. So,
far back on your right, Eric.
Dave, Hideo Nomo's thrown out the first pitch tonight. What do you remember him as a teammate?
Very great worker, warrior. Had a lot of, he had the country of Japan on his shoulders. Great teammate. Loved baseball. Loved his teammates. very intentional about his work, and I'm very fortunate to say he was a teammate and a friend of mine, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think that's great that we got him throwing the first pitch tonight.
Are you going to encourage him to throw from the full windup?
Yeah, I want to see that tornado wind up and throw the split, whatever he wants to do. I don't think he will, but that'd be pretty cool.
We'll finish up in the third row in the middle, Dave.
Dave, that here and now mindset from a pitcher like Tyler, how does that lend itself to a team that doesn't strike out a lot and there will inevitably be traffic on the bases?
I think that just because they don't strike out doesn't mean there's going to be a ton of traffic. I think that, it's just be on the attack. It's an aggressive team. They do put the ball in play. But I think that, when Tyler's not trying to be too fine, not getting into mechanics and just staying in compete mode again, I just think that that's the best version of him. But it's going to be a good test today. These guys are hungry and they're good.
All right, Doc. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Sierra Santos with MLB Network, and it is my honor to welcome you all to the official trophy presentation of Major League Baseball's most prestigious individual player award, the Roberto Clemente Award, presented by Capital One. The Roberto Clemente Award pays tribute to the late Hall of Famer's legacy by recognizing a Major League player who best represents the game through extraordinary character, community involvement, philanthropic excellence, and positive contributions on and off the field. MLB has been recognizing Major League players for their philanthropic work since 1971. The special recognition was named the Roberto Clemente Award in 1973 to immortalize the 15-time All-Star after he was tragically lost in a plane crash on New Year's Eve, 1972, on his way to deliver supplies to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Roberto's humanitarian spirit continues through his tremendous generosity and community work demonstrated by Major League players around our country and the world. Tonight is a celebration of his philanthropic legacy that grows stronger among players year after year. To announce this year's winner, please welcome Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
Thank you. I'd like to begin by thanking Capital One for their ongoing support of the Roberto Clemente Award. As Sierra said, we regard this to be the highest award that can be given to a Major League player. I was thinking about what to say today, and the first thing I usually do is talk about somebody's on-field accomplishments, but talking about how Mookie Betts plays the game on the field in Los Angeles seems like we've already covered that topic, but he's obviously a great offensive player, a winner of the Most Valuable Player Award, and I think the most impressive thing this year to move to shortstop full-time and be a Gold Glove finalist is really a tribute to what a great athlete Mookie is. In addition to his play on the field, Mookie has been an unbelievable ambassador for our game. A couple of years ago, when the Dodgers were not in the World Series, Mookie got together with Fox, provided some commentary during the World Series. He has devoted endless hours to working with us to make the All MLB Awards the best show it could possibly be, all in the interest of making our game better and growing our game. But maybe the most important when you talk about on-field, trying to grow the game and give back, is the community work that Mookie has done really throughout his career. You were, in case you don't know, an overwhelming choice in this vote. But I don't want to leave anything out. Mookie and Brianna were active in terms of supporting victims of the Los Angeles fires. They've been active in fighting hunger and homelessness here in Los Angeles. He donated youth sports equipment and funded a youth baseball tournament and sponsored youth teams in his hometown of Nashville. I didn't know until I got this you were from Nashville, but there you go. Promoted the importance of education and financial literacy to young people. He was an ambassador to African American youth by engaging directly with them on Jackie Robinson Day and as part of our programming, and in Club Cultural Heritage Night. He brought numerous underserved youth to Dodgers games here at Dodger Stadium and has been active in visiting young people with health issues. You know, when you play 162 times in 186 days, I don't know quite how you have time to do all that, but Mookie, you're a tribute to our game, and this is a well-deserved award. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Manfred. Roberto Clemente's incredible legacy lives on, thanks in part to our next speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce, well, two of Roberto's three sons are here, but Luis, I'd love for you to say a few words.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. We look forward to this day every single year, every single season. And I was going to add to what Mr. Commissioner said, but I don't think is necessary. He covered all the aspects of what gives the accolades for Mookie to have been chosen the 2025 Roberto Clemente Award recipient. But I also understand the efforts that the wives put together, as Mom did with Dad. So Brianna, also congratulations, because you're very much part of this as well. Here with us today is my brother, Roberto Enrique. Not many people will get to see him because he doesn't like to travel much, but thanks to this trip, he says, you know what, this is the furthest I've gone, and I will continue now to travel. So this is all for you, Mookie, and we thank you. We've been providing a Oris watch for all Clemente Award recipients. You will be getting yours with the date of 2025, announcing which day you won the award. So thank you so much. Welcome to the Clemente family of inductees.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Luis. In 2022, Capital One became the presenting sponsor of not only the Roberto Clemente Award, but also Roberto Clemente Day. To speak on behalf, please welcome Executive Vice President and Head of External Affairs for Capital One, Andy Navarrete.
Thank you, and Commissioner, thank you for hosting us. Luis, Roberto, and now I got to meet Enrique. So all three brothers, just incredibly honored and excited to be part of this event every year. And it feels full circle. The first time we did this was honoring another Dodger, an ex-Red Sox, Justin Turner. So kind of wonderful to be able to come back to honor Mookie Betts, whose just achievements on and off the field are really extraordinary. Giving back to the community is really at the heart of Capital One's mission, and so the opportunity to provide a fitting stage for this award has been something that was very much a priority of our sponsorship, and so we're thrilled to be able to give it the recognition that it deserves. 4 years ago, I was able to tell a story of my father's personal connection to Roberto Clemente, not only his favorite player, but they were two men born a few months apart in neighboring islands, and both happened to be in Nicaragua right before the earthquake. And my father, inspired by your father's legacy, returned shortly after to provide humanitarian aid as well. And so for me and my brother who's here today, it's just an incredible honor to be able to be here on the dais. 2 weeks ago, I was speaking at an event here in LA on Latino youth and sports. And one of the questions that was raised is how we can encourage Latino youth to be more involved in sports and all the possibilities that it can create. And the answer from the state athletic commissioner was, we need to teach them about Clemente. And so the just legacy and the importance of your father's work and your work has just never been more relevant today. One person who very much does not need an education in that area is Mookie Betts. Mookie, I was just wowed by your nomination and voted for you last year, full disclosure as well. But glad to see you joining here. When I told my friends from Boston, by the way, that I was presenting this award, they all clamored for tickets. Mind you, not to the game, to this press conference. And I just marvel at the fact that how good a person do you have to be to leave Boston in the prime of your career and still be beloved by Red Sox fans? But every single one of them was just so excited to see you honored in this way. You know, as Luis mentioned, you know, so much of what is important is family. And one of the things that really struck me about your work with the 50/50 Foundation was that it's a family affair. Brianna, you're just, you know, the driving force behind it, your cousin Unique. And so sort of reading about the parallels between that and how the Clemente family has advanced their legacy was just a very moving opportunity. We know that you're focused right now on Game 3, and incredible that you're here with us, but we can't wait to see where you and Brianna take your work next. So congratulations again.
Thank you, sir. Mookie, tonight you join the illustrious names of those who have received this prestigious honor. The floor is yours.
Let me do that. So thank you guys for the votes, whoever voted. Thank you. I don't know how it kind of works. But first, I want to thank God just for giving me the platform to give back to all kids. It doesn't matter, grown-ups, whoever. I want to thank my parents. My mom's here, dad's at home, but my parents for raising a good kid. You guys did a good job. Gave me a lot of morals and values, and that's why I'm able to sit here today with this award. I want to thank Unique, who is the CEO of 50/50 Foundation. I remember last year when we were nominated and we lost, and I remember after that telling her, like, no, I want to win this award. I want to win. Like, you know, I'm not used to losing, so I wanted to win this, and so thank you, Nick. And then obviously my beautiful wife. She's been with me every step of the way, and when we're going to give food to the homeless in the middle of the night or to schools or whoever, you know, she's always by my side, so thank you. I feel like I'm a part of the Puerto Rican family now. Kike came and said something. Cora texted me and said I'm Rican now. So, but being able to put on number 21 and knowing all that he did and what his family still does is just a blessing. So I thank you guys.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mookie. Congratulations. I'm going to open the floor up now for some questions. We ask that all line of questioning remain specifically on this recognition and Mookie's philanthropic work.
Hey, Mookie, congratulations to you and your wife. What does it mean for you just to be an inspiration to kids from our community as well as communities of color when they see you not just talk it, but you and your wife walk it, especially all the philanthropic things that you do with the 50/50 Foundation and all around?
You know, it means a lot. You know, life is about more than kind of what you do. I think as far as work, it's about, you know, kind of how you affect people. You know, people always remember how you make them feel. And so I know we live by that. And so, you know, when we come across people, you always make them smile, do what you can to help them. And, you know, the Lord blesses you. And so that's kind of what we care about. We just want to be a good example for all the kids growing up and to know that they can do it, you know, no matter what.
You have the mic.
Mookie, congratulations. This has been a tremendous year for you. You've had many tremendous years in your career. Does this make it the most rewarding year of your career?
Yeah, I would say so. Just, you know, being recognized for something like this is it's really cool. You know, we, as a family, we don't really do a whole lot of things to be recognized for it. We just kind of do it out of the goodness of our hearts. But to be recognized is really nice, and especially after this year, you know, going through all that I went through, the changes of, you know, moving and you know, not playing very well, just to know that my on the field things are irrelevant to this. You know, you can still be successful and maybe not in a way that you didn't know. It's really cool. It's really cool just to be able to hold up this award and to know that this had nothing to do with baseball.
Mookie. Hi. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have two questions. If Roberto Clemente were here today, what would you want to ask him? And if there's a moment in your community work that you'll never forget, something that stayed with you, what was it?
I don't know what I would ask him. It would probably be something baseball related. Just 'cause he was so good at everything on the field. So, yeah, definitely something baseball related. And I just remember a few kids, going to the hospital and you see some terminally ill kids. It's really hard. It's really hard. And then, seeing them come to the game and one throughout the first pitch this year. Just kind of seeing the smiles and the laughs and the jokes and really getting a new perspective on life, I think is really rewarding, and I love it. I really love, and I'll always remember all those smiles and all these kids that you kind of affect, and all you have to do is just go visit. That's all you have to do.
Mookie, congratulations here.
Oh, there you go.
What do you know about Clemente's legacy and how special it is to get the recognition also from his family, and how much you're looking forward to maybe whenever you go to talk to kids or whatever activity you do with your foundation or whatever, to kind of spread the message and his legacy as well now with you being a recipient?
Yeah, I don't know much about his legacy on the field, honestly. I just know obviously he had 3,000 hits and 15-time All-Star and all those type of things, but I know mostly about all the work that he did off the field. All the lives that he affected, the way he passed. I mean, that's kind of crazy as it is. And so if you have an award named after you, that means you're very heavily involved in the community and you affect a lot of people. And for me, it's just trying to do the same thing, just affect a lot of people in a positive way. My wife affect a lot of people in a positive way, and just give kids opportunities that they may not have. And not everybody's going to be in the big leagues, but some people can be lawyers, teachers, whatever it is. And we just want to provide options, for kids, because you never know what you're going to do.
I want to get it to somebody who was also nominated. Lawrence?
Wow. Mook, congratulations. You're a beautiful family, even though I feel like I should have won it. You got any advice for, a young player in this game, trying to get to where you at today?
Yeah, man. It's just going to take a lot of work, which is obvious. But you really have to be in the right mental headspace all the time. The right mental headspace all the time, because opportunities come and go. But you'll miss them if you're in the bad headspace, meaning upset, mad, umpire called a bad pitch, you took a bad swing, whatever it is, right? You just have to stay in the right headspace, man, and that's one to just calm and be aware of what's going on, but just live moment by moment, man. I had this year was the biggest teacher for me, just to live moment by moment, and usually when you do, a lot of moments come that you really don't know, and when they come, you just got to be ready for it.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yes.
Mookie, when you got to the Dodgers, you show up in a new city, you want to get involved. I'm sure there's many worthy things you considered. What did you determine in terms of, this is the first big impact that I'm going to make, and why did you want that to be the first big initiative?
Whew. Man, that was so long ago. I don't even remember when we got here. Yeah, it was during COVID. I kind of don't even remember what we did when we first got here. I remember it was COVID, and I remember there was a lot of homeless people that lived close to where we lived. And I remember many nights, me and Bree going to drop off food, but nobody ever know. We're not doing that for press or anything. But I just remember that was kind of the beginning of us kind of getting involved in the community, and then, kind of we were doing things in Boston as well, so we just took the same blueprint and came to LA, and it just kind of got bigger and bigger, and then we created this foundation and got Unique involved, which she had a day job, and so she still does her day job and this, which is amazing. She's really, really busy, and so we got a couple board members here, my homeboys in 6th grade. So it's all a huge family thing, and they're out there giving away food to homeless as well, doing the turkey drives and all these type of things. And so we didn't have one thing in specific. It was just something that we love to do.
Can we get the mic right here to Ron?
Mookie and Brianna, how, even going back to Boston, throughout all this, do you determine
which projects are closest to your heart and to become involved with?
That's a great question. We go off of our feel and joy and seeing the kids. I wouldn't say we have requirements, of course, but we go off of what we feel in the community when we're in that space and taking that moment in. And, we feel things from the kids and they ask us questions and they're involved, and that makes us want to get involved. So we actually let them speak to us as well. So it's like a two-way street. We're here for them and they're here for us as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's going to conclude this press conference. Congratulations, Mookie. And we're going to step up for some pictures real quick, and then we'll let you go. I promise we'll let you go.
All right. Thank you, guys.